Good morning, welcome back to DX Radio Shop on our morning ride shoe nap. It is Friday. Happy Friday to everybody. Excuse me. And good morning, everybody out there. We are live stream right now. Okay, so today we're talking about a few different things, I suppose. Boxcar, good morning. Leadfoot, how are you? First thing we're going to do while we're going to jump into some topics, I suppose. Let's try to see what we got here. Won't tune from Lee. That's all it says. Okay. Well, let's take a look at this guy, I suppose. Anyway, so our upcoming event will be the last Saturday in July, as we all know, for the JOTA, which is Jamboree on the Air. We do have a nice public park we're all going to be going to. And slides. Oh, okay. And so we will have a nice little event going on. It will not be a ham fest, but for the ones who are coming and traveling, if you would like to bring one small table of maybe 4 or 5 items to make it worth your while, that's okay. It's mainly for you bringing your own radio gear. Bring a nice little radio and an antenna. We're all going to have a barbecue, hang out, just going to have a good time, meet new friends, and make as many contacts on the air as you can. So bring your own logbook if you wish, and just have a good time. So we've got a total of 13 states coming right now. And as far as counting heads with local people, we're probably close to about 35, 40 people that are going to attend. Again, this is just a basic, like a glorified, we'll say like a school graduation, if you will, right? How people all kind of get together, one big barbecue bash type thing. That's all we're going to do. So nothing fancy. So it'll be a good time for everybody who wants to jump in and check it out. So if you guys are interested into it, feel free to contact me, dxradioshop@yahoo.com. I'm the one putting on the event, and so we'll have raffles and stuff like that going on. But we got 13 states right now that are making reservations to motels to come up here on that weekend, which will be the Friday, Saturday, Sunday, which is the last weekend of July of this year. And so we will have more information as we get closer enough to that time, and it'll be a good time for sure. Everyone's going to have a great time. Like I said, bring your own radio, your own antenna, and hook it all up, sit out there in the park. You got your own battery pack, whatever, and just make as many contacts as you want, whether it be on CB band or HF band. If you are on HF band, please make sure you can show a license. I don't want anybody on any HF bands if you do not have a license, because it's not going to be on my watch if you guys get in trouble. We're not going to have this event where people are going to take and jump on HF bands unlicensed. We're not doing that. So if you guys are only CB, that's fine. Stay on the CB band. If you're going to be, if you do have a tech or HF license, then you could jump on your 10 meter and above if you're just a tech. If you have a general class or higher, you're more welcome to do as you please at that point as well. So again, it'll be a great time. If anybody wants to check it out, dxradioshop@yahoo.com. Send me an email with your name, address, phone number if you are interested, and I'll put you down, get you in the system, and we look forward to seeing everybody attend that event. Okay, let's take a look at this guy and see what he's got going on here. Switch feels fine. Could be lubed up just a little bit, I suppose. Doesn't seem to be centered down good. Oh, uh-oh, right there. But this one broke away from the solder. That's why she's not working. Because it has no contact. So it can't work if you ain't got no contact. That was the answer. Okie dokie. They just straighten up some. that's one announcement, or anyway. So one topic, and then the other one would be would be uh, the Zello. If anyone's interested in Zello, feel free to check it out. As we have a lot of great people on there for sure. You go to Zello, ZELLOPTT, and have a good time for sure. So we have Boxcar, Leadfoot, Brandon, Matt. We've got Kevin from the OK State. We got Steve, John, and Kevin from Jersey. Good morning, everybody. Boxcar says, what kind of barbecue? Well, any barbecue that you want to make, whether it be a hot dogs, hamburgers, sausage. I'm sure someone's going to probably want to bring chips, whatever else. It's going to be a dish to pass. So if you guys want to bring your own bag of chips or whatever you want to do or something, whatever, we're all going to just kind of do it. Everyone's going to bring a dish to pass, something small. I don't want to see people bring salads because I don't want anyone to have, food just sit out there all day getting spoiled. Then we're going to bring like mac salad or something. I mean, you guys want to bring it, fine. I just don't want to see something go bad. That's all. Unless you're going to bring a cooler to keep it, and that's fine. But I just figure we'll bring some, stuff that's a lot easier to maintain during that time frame. So, but then again, we're going to have coolers for meats and stuff like that too. So I guess it'd be okay. Use your own discretion, I suppose. But it'll be a good time. And if all goes good, there is a campsite across the road a little ways. And so we were going to find out if I could rent a spot to not really a bonfire, but just a couple of pit fires, whatever. We can all kind of maybe get one good little pit fire started, and we all sit around, kind of visit if you wish. If not, then people just go back to the motel at that night. And so the game plan is Friday. Everybody get up early enough, midday, whatever it's going to take to get you up here, and so because you got to get checked in, get yourself squared away when you get your motel set. Now, there's like 3 of them south of here in Waterloo, Seneca Falls, around McGee area. Prices are not too bad, especially if you get them reserved now. So the idea is that Friday night we all get together. Got a nice little restaurant in Waterloo we're all going to check out. We can all meet up for dinner if everybody wishes. And Saturday the event will start between I want to get at 9 o'clock, but I figure anybody who might be a little lollygagging around than 10 o'clock, but I'm kind of shooting for 9 o'clock. So we at 9 a.m. until probably, I don't know, 3, 4 in the afternoon anyways. Probably 4 in the afternoon. Just kind of spend the whole day with the radio gear, having a good fun event and barbecuing. And by, say maybe, I don't know, 2:30, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, probably start the barbecuing. I mean, we can barbecue all day for that matter, I suppose. If everybody wants to barbecue all day, I don't care. There's four charcoal grills at the park, so you guys want to barbecue all day long, it doesn't matter, whatever. We don't have to stick to a plan or not. This is kind of a plan I kind of had started. So, but Friday night we get together for dinner. Saturday we get up, spend the whole day, enjoy the radio event. Sunday morning, get up and meet up with everybody who wants to go out for breakfast before they home voyage back home for the day. So that's kind of the idea that we have in set right now for at this moment. So if anybody has any questions or ideas, we're always open for suggestions, etc. So I said we'll have 50-50 raffles, and we will be raffling off a twin pack 8-watt Baofeng. You get 2 of those, 2 chargers, 2 microphones, etc. The whole kit caboodle, and we will have 50-foot strand coax. We'll have some used equipment, some HF equipment, woodworking equipment. We'll have raffling off too. So we have a few different things. You know, for the ones who are coming, if you want to put a table out with a couple of small things for sale, that's fine too. I don't care. Just don't get carried away by bringing 4 or 5 tables full of stuff. It's not a Hamfest event. It's a nice radio talk on the air event type thing. But if you want to bring a few things to make it worth your while, if you can recoup some of the money back that you're spending on traveling, that's fine. It is handicap accessible too for bathrooms. So. Okay, so there's no connectivity here, which means no short. Just the chassis or the center connector. Good. And no ground to here, so he's good. All right. That's all it was, just a broken wire. Make sure to stay by that door, Sean, because this is when he disappears.
Let's see how we use if he shows up. You ordered it from Amazon, right?
Yeah. When is they gonna be here? Did it say?
It hasn't been shipped out yet.
Oh, jeez. Figures.
Probably shipped out later, so it won't be here till. Where's it coming from?
I have no idea. Probably Monday, Tuesday, more than likely. Oh boy. Got ahead of myself. I'm so busy talking about jamborees and stuff, I forgot to clean the switch. I wanted to do that and clean these connectors too. Yeah, if you guys want to check out Zello, feel free to do so. We get people on there all the time. New people who join all the time as well. It's a good way to get in contact here with me if you guys need anything. Okay. Hello, Brian. How are you? Good morning. Bootlegger. Good morning. Yeah, I should have cleaned it first. I didn't think about that. Got too caught up in my topics to talk about here with the jamboree thing. That I didn't even realize. Just got ahead of myself. That's okay though. Because we're taking care of it right now. Keep an eye, Sean. You gotta watch out that window, buddy, because he ain't gonna beat the horn. There, now we're all good to go with this. All clean, connected. That's the continuity right there. That's those 239s are cleaned off. They're all clean and shiny, just like new. That was an easy fix, if I do say so myself. Needs a little shine. In here? All right. See you later. Love you. Have a good day. Look at that. Just like brand spanking new. Okay, very good. Well, he's all fixed and shiny and looking pretty and all that good stuff. Nice little tuner. These are great tuners, by the way. They really are. You don't have a meter to gauge, so when you use something like this, you have to listen to your sound. As the sound gets louder, you're pretty close to resin, where that may be. So this is good for many reasons if you know how to use one. I actually have one of these myself. I've used a few times. I got like several different tuning matchers. These are pretty good units though. Very easy to use. You just got to listen. If you don't have a meter, obviously not built inside this one, use one on your radio. If you don't have a radio that has a SWR meter to gauge, then you got to get yourself one. But this is a great tuning matching system to utilize for that reason, to get that extra, taken care of. So if you got a 1.5, you can't get no lower. You grab something like this, and you can drop that down a little bit better. But again, it's not a variable; it's positioned. So I like the variables better because you get that little bit of, we'll say like maybe it could be right in between A and B. That is where you're resting. You could kind of like fine tune it a little bit. But this case here is either A through F. So you can't get that in between type thing. It's either this or it's that. So, but that's about what you've got, really. But they're a great unit. So if you guys ever want to get something like this, check them out. And we all know, well, for the ones who don't, MFJ went out of business along with Meritron and a few others. So if you guys see something like this, buy them, keep them, store them, because people are going to start jacking up prices. They think it's gold. You can find these anywhere from $5 at the least amount used, right on up to brand new. I don't know what they go for brand new, but MFJ product is going to be becoming more scarce to get. And the ones that you do see, you got to watch out. They're not used and abused, and those probably be the ones they want thousands of dollars for because everybody thinks it's gold. It's not gold. But when things go out of business, people jump on that and they think, oh, hey, I got to invest in this, man, because if I don't, I can be losing money. I can name a price, and they got to pay if they want it that bad. And that's where things go, and it should not. And I totally disagree with the way people do that. But you're going to find people who are just greedy and don't care, and that's what happens. So... But anyways, MFJ 910, excellent tuner, excellent little matchers. They work great. As you can see, this is an easy fix. Just had to solder the wire back down center conductor, clean the switch a little bit, and clean around up on the outside and the connectors, and away we go. So 4 mounting holes. You can use this inside your shack. You can use this inside of a car, wherever you want to go. You're out in a portable, out and about. You can do that the same way as well too. No problem. So. Okay, let's see. Let me get caught up here a little bit and see what we've got. Oh, you're going to say if Leadfoot brings the karaoke. Well, I don't know if he's a good singer now. I know Michael is, but I don't know. I guess we got to get the two of them up there. Maybe one could be a treble, one could be a bass. I don't know. That'd be kind of funny. Be kind of cool. Morning, Bootlegger. How are you? Steve says you got one of these. Oh, yeah, absolutely. So this is a antenna matcher, Brandon. So if you have a antenna that might be, let's say 1.3, 1.5, 1.6, you can adjust this. You listen for the sound, and as the sound of your receiver is a little bit louder, you're more resonant to that area, that bandwidth, the frequency in which you're on. So this will help kind of tune you down a little bit better. Is what this is for. See, Bootlegger says, "Can I ask an off-topic question?" Sure, no problem. How bad do LED bulbs interfere with CB reception? That's a very good question, actually. So, and I get this all the time. How bad do they interfere? Well, it depends on what LED system you're talking about. So, for example, if you are referring to a light bar on a vehicle and it's an LED system, no matter what light bar it is, it's going to raise havoc. So to try and avoid that is almost impossible. You can use a lot better coax. You can ground everything. You can put a low pass filter in line. You can do a couple of different things. But what it comes down to basically is you got to get the antenna far enough away from that light bar. So any kind of light bar or dome light or some sort you're going to have that's going to be putting, any kind of LED or this, that, and the other on top of a vehicle, whether EMS, fire, etc. You really can't avoid a whole lot. You can get it down, but if it's that bad to begin with, then you're just not gonna. It's almost. It can be done if you spend a lot of time and money, but it's really taking the antenna and getting it far enough away from the light. Is what it comes down to. If you're given that as an example, like I just did, if there's something different, like just like an LED light inside the house or this, that, and the other, not usually too much of an issue. You may have some, but you can drown that out. But if it's on a vehicle, you're kind of screwed, because the light on the vehicle is wherever you place it, and wherever you put the antenna, it's wherever he's going to be placed. So it's kind of you almost got to have like a couple more vehicles there, twice the amount of length. A tuning bulb. All right, give me a little bit more on that. When you mean a tuning bulb, like what kind of tuning bulb are you talking about? Give me a little bit more information. Oh, brake light. What are you saying? You have a LED brake light? Is that what you have? And you think it's interfering with the your radio reception? Is that where we're going with this? Is that my understanding? Turn signal. So if you got a brake bulb or a turn signal and you're using an LED in place of an actual bulb, and you're getting interference, that's a different aspect. So what you can do with those is just make sure everything's grounded good, move your antenna a little further away. But what are you using for a voltage supply? Are you coming off the battery for your radio? Are you using a cigarette lighter adapter? If you're going to use a cigarette lighter adapter, you're going to pick up every little thing you can ever imagine. Don't put it there. But if you're off the battery itself, where's the antenna would be my next question in reference to where your back end of the vehicle is. Is this a car or a truck, or what are you referring to? The type of vehicle and what kind of antenna are you using, and how close is the antenna to that? Because somewhere you're not grounded good. Somewhere you're picking up something. You could put a couple of ferrite chokes over the power line, the power source that goes to the bulbs. You can try that and see if you can't choke it out. You can also put a choke around your ferrite snap-on chokes on your coax. You could put a couple of those right at the antenna, close to the mount, and you can put a couple right behind the radio on the coax as well to try and resolve that problem. But I don't know. Without seeing it, I really don't know. I would ground everything, check it all, make sure you're not getting your supply voltage off the cigarette lighter adapter. Make sure you're not sharing any kind of fusible link that could be sharing something along those lines. You have it off the battery, okay, and you got your antenna mounted on the Jeep. It's a Grand Cherokee brake, tank, and antenna in it. Okay, so you got a Jeep Grand Cherokee, brake, tank, antenna, it, and it. I'm not following that part. What is a brake tank? Or is that misspelling? Brake tank and antenna, it, and it. I'm not quite following that part. You got this on top of the roof of the vehicle? I'm assuming, right? Auto type. Okay, there you go. I thought there was something wrong. Okay, gotcha. All right. Because you lost me. I was way off path on that one. So you okay? So you got the antenna. What kind of antenna do you have? I'm assuming magnet mount. What kind of antenna do you have on top of the vehicle? All right, let me see if I'm following you. Are you mounted? So the antenna is mounted in the back portion of the vehicle on the top of the roof, closest to the brake lights. Is that what you're saying? So the antenna is into the far back portion of the roof of the vehicle. Is that what you're saying? Remember that movie, Keep Up with the Joneses? I'm trying to keep up here with Bootlegger. Tail light housing. It's a Striker A10. Okay. So when you say tail light housing and you got the antenna mounted, so are you on a bumper mount? Is that what you're saying? That you is this like on a bumper mount or tailgate mount of some sort? So this the Striker antenna is kind of like mounted down below near the tail light. Is that what I think is what you're saying now? Let me do this. Let me put this this together here. Alright, don't laugh at my goofy drawing. I'm trying to keep up with you here. So this is the back of the truck, right? The back of your Jeep, for example. Is this antenna mounted down low near the tail light? Is that what you're telling me? It's a flat mount. Took tail light out and mounted the inside housing in. Oh, yeah, no, you want to move that antenna far away from the tail light. You don't want the antenna near or in the tail light. You want that thing moved away. Okay, this is what you got here. Alright, that's what we got. Okay, so now everybody can see what you have here. Now I understand what you have going on. Okay, so that's what you've got. Okay, so I guess my question is, one, the coax is going behind through there. Yeah, so you're picking up all kinds of stuff inside the RF field. So I would take and now I see your picture. I would not use the antenna there. No, I would take and move it to a different location. If you could use a magnet mount, it'd be better up on top, because this is going to pick up. You got this kind of going in between the lens and the tailgate here, so your hatch rather. So yeah, I would not leave it there. No, you're going to pick up all kinds of interference because you're too close to the light. So if you're using LEDs, that is. Regular bulbs wouldn't have no problem, but if you're using LEDs, then yeah, I can see where you got interference with this. Now I see where you're going. Okay, so yeah, I would definitely do something totally different here. I would not keep it here. No. and that's not really a good ground system either, because you don't have enough surface space. Even though it can be connected to ground, it's not enough surface space ground. So, for example, let's say here, let's say you have just for an example, a 3-inch magnet with an antenna, and your surface space is going to be, we'll say, like this, right? Well, even though you got enough surface space, but this 3-inch magnet won't be enough to collect that surface space. So now if we were to take that off of there and we went with a 5-inch or 6-inch magnet mount, now you're going to get that more surface space connectivity for a ground source. So it's like taking a tiny little magnet. Do I have one here? Yes, I do. So it's kind of like taking this tiny little, magnet right here, for example, and try to get a, surface space connectivity. Isn't going to be as strong as a bigger, much larger magnet source, right? So I would definitely move that antenna. If you could go with a magnet mount, you're better off. If you can't, well, I understand. But I would definitely move that for sure. Put it right on top of the center of the roof. I mean, if you want to go back to regular bulbs, that's okay. You shouldn't have any interference at all at that point. I'm assuming this is where you want to keep your antenna, it sounds like. What is your SWR, by any chance? I would use a magnet mount. Honestly, here's what I would do if I were you. Go to Amazon and type this in. Okay? Type that right on in. Sirio, S-I-R-I-O. I know I got a bad chicken scratch writing here, but Sirio 5000 magnet mount antenna. And you're going to see those anywhere from $119 roughly. And you get the whole kit and caboodle. And the best part about this, you take the antenna, screw it onto your, it's got like a rubber weather seal. You put that on top of the magnet mount, screw the antenna to the magnet mount, and you walk away. That's it. You don't have to adjust the antenna. It's already preset. And you get 3.15 dBi gain, which means, let's say you're running 100 watts. Going into the antenna, theoretically, would be 315 watts coming out of the antenna. The Striker antenna you have is a good antenna, but has zero gain. So whatever you got going in is what you got going out. So this gives you the opportunity to enhance your output and your reception by going with and I think they run like a 5-inch magnet mount, 6-inch magnet mount with these antennas. But very good antenna. I swear by those antennas. One of my buddies over in the Syracuse area, Fred, got me onto that a good few years ago. And I was always like a Wilson guy, this, that, and the other. Well, hell, when I went to Sirio, I got rid of all my other product. And because Sirio is an amazing antenna. It truly is. And the best part is you don't have to sit there and fight with it for SWRs. So, but go with a Sirio, put it on top of your vehicle, and that's it. They are about 7 foot tall. You know, the whip is quite long, but you are going to get out like you wouldn't believe, and you're going to think, God, I couldn't even hear these people 20 miles down the road. You're going to be picking up stations from all over the place. You're going to be getting out really well. Go with a Sirio 5000 magnet mount antenna. You'll be very pleased for sure. You got a 1.4 right now on the SWR. That's a good SWR. It's not bad. But yeah, definitely get yourself a magnet mount and put it up on top. I wouldn't worry about changing out your bulbs. Just take the antenna off. Now, the antenna that you do have, if you want to keep it and you don't want to spend a lot more money, you can always buy just the magnet mount. You don't have to buy the whole antenna system. You know, look online for a 3/8 24. No, is that right? 3/8 16. Which one are you? Let's see, 24 would be more fine, right? 16 is coarse. Yeah, 16. So it'll be 3/8 16 thread. So just look for a magnet mount that's got the 3/8 threaded socket, stud, right? And you can thread your striker antenna right into it. Just put it up on top of the vehicle. You may have had to adjust it a touch. It's 3/8 24. Thank you, Matt. I kept thinking which way to go with that. I wasn't sure if it was 24 or 16. So yeah, the go with a 3/8 24 thread, and you can thread what you have right into it. You may have to adjust your whip a little bit. We're talking 1/8 of an inch up or down from where you are to maybe it may even just it might just bottom right out at that point. You might see it drop right down to 1.1 or 1.2 or so. But I would definitely go with a magnet mount antenna for sure. I would not waste your time with what you've got on the back, that little mount that you've got. So, yes, yeah, you got to make sure to ground right to the chassis. Yep. No, you got a good SFR, so it sounds like everything's working the way it should. You're just picking up interference because of the LED bulb. So I would definitely, I'd definitely go with the. I personally would go with the serial antenna, but if you want to save a little bit of money and just go with a magnet mount, you can buy just the magnet mount for like $35-40 online with what you've got that you need. Just thread your antenna right into it, and away you go. Now, if you wanted to keep that mount where you have it, you can utilize that for a whole different antenna. You can put something smaller on for like a VHF, UHF antenna. You're not going to get any interference with that because the frequency is so far away from what you're generating, what your LED is going to put off. You won't have that problem. But see, you're in the 27 megahertz range at this time, which draws in a lot of garbage. But if you're higher frequency, you're not going to be picking up any interference. I would say very minute, if probably zero. If you were to use that same mount, leave it right where it is. If you don't have a hand license, get one. And you can put yourself a VHF antenna right there and be done with it. You already got the coax ran. All you got to do is get a different antenna, mount it, and be done with it. So you're already set up for another antenna if you wish. If you're EMT, whatever, put a scanner antenna. Utilize that if you wanted. You went through all the work and money to put it together. I wouldn't just take it all out completely. Use it for something different if you choose to. If not, then take it out. But go with a serial. I think you'd be better off that way. But if you want to save money, then just buy yourself a regular magnet mount and just put your striker antenna on top of that. But definitely put that right up in the center of the vehicle on top of your roof, and you're going to have all kinds of wow, my radio's picking up stuff that I never heard before. So I swear by those antennas. They're really. I have a serial 3-element beam, a serial 5/8 wave ground plane antenna up on top of the house. I've got the serial 5000 magnet mount antenna. I've used those. And just phenomenal antennas, they really are. But yeah, definitely do that and see what you got going on for sure. There you go. Matt brought up another good point. Tram, very good, well-known name. Hustler, Tram, are both excellent sources. Well-built equipment. So especially for radio communication. I've used the Tram many a time for actually coax cable. I've used it for VHF, UHF antennas. Excellent area to check out. Amazon, you can just Google it. You'll find it. Sources all over the place for sure. So, yepers. But hi guys, anyone got any more questions? Quickly, let's go ahead and ask them up. That's a very good question. It's a great topic for sure. K40s. I used to love the K40s, James, and then I got away from those. Because I got into the Wilson, and then after the Wilson, I got into the serial, and I'll never, unless somebody comes out with something different, like besides your, what do you call those, Joe guns. You put yourself a good Joe gun antenna on top of your vehicle. 25 dBi gain, that's all you need. But no, the serials are really good. K40s are good antennas, they really are. I don't care much for those anymore. I never liked the way they had them on the hook for the trunk mount or into the magnet. I didn't like that. You only got 2 set screws holding it in place. I didn't like the way they were built, but they were very good talking antennas. I will definitely agree with that, yes. I had K40 a long time. Very good talking antennas. The fact that they were so easy to take off and snap off, that I did not like. Or to be stolen, off your vehicle, I did not like. But otherwise, performance-wise, very good antenna. So, anybody any other topics or questions very quickly? We can head up fast before we move on to another video. I got about 8 minutes left before we got to move on because 7:30 is coming, and I want to get myself started onto some stuff here. I got customers showing up early today, and I got to get things rocking and rolling. Oh, I didn't see that one on your second picture. Okay. So yeah, go with a magnet mount. You'll be happy. Okay. But here's another problem I just noticed. This is a different view he sent. So I do like the mount you've got with the coax. I actually have the very same on my truck for my HF and my VHF UHF, and that's a very good mount because you can hide the coax and you don't have to worry about someone trying to unthread your PL259. So, and that gives you a lot less space because you'd be down here like another 3 or 4 inches easy. So that's a very good what we call an NMO type mount style. This is a very good way of doing that. But this is a no-no. Look at this. You don't want to wrap the coax. When you wrap the coax and you coil it, you're actually going to draw in. You're opening the door for interference. So that is one thing you don't want to do, is you never want to wrap the coax like this. That's going to suck in any little bit of harmonic or interference of illuminating off your or generating off your LED, or that is where you're not only because of where you're mounted, but because of it being coiled. You don't want to coil that coax right here. So that would be, if you were to straighten him out and just run the coax through, you probably will still pick up more interference. It depends on how bad the interference is. You may still pick up interference, but not nearly close to what you got right now. You're choking that interference right here, and you're absorbing it inside the coax, and it's just generating a nice little bee's nest, like a tornado right there, just sucking it right on in. That's what's happening right here when you got that coax looped around. That's where you're bringing in all your interference. I didn't see that till you just showed it. Yeah, that's a no-no. So otherwise, you got it. I see the mount looks really. You did a good job mounting this. That came out really well, and I do love the way you got the style of mount. Very good job with that. Excellent job, for sure. Because these are excellent mounts. I love these mounts. This is how I got my fender mount too on both sides. Very good display right there. But this part, you want to avoid wrapping the coax. You don't want to wrap that coax, because you're going to take everything you have and just suck it in right there. That's what you're doing. Think of it like a what do you want to call it? Whirlpool, right? Water goes down your drain, you kind of wash that, just spin right on down. That's what you're doing. You're taking all that energy from the LED, and you're holding it right here, and it's going to bring it right back in. So that's going to amplify your problem, for sure. But otherwise, excellent job with the rest of it, though. Just I would definitely get a magnet mount and avoid all that problem. But you might want to try to just undo the coil and just straighten that coax out, and then see if you got any difference on yours. If you got any difference with the interference, if the interference is dropped, I don't know what you have. Let's say you got I don't know, an S5 of just noise. If you straighten that out, you might bring that down to S4, S3. It may not change much at all. It might bring it down to S1, S2. I have no idea. So you might be able to just keep what you've got. Just straighten that coax out. Don't wind it up. But I would definitely go with a magnet mount to avoid 100% of that. I'd go right up on top of the roof is what I would do. So, very good. Great topics today. Likey. Oh, James sent me a picture. Okay, so here you go. So James did the same thing with the same style mount rather, and he's got this mount right to a plate, right to the hatch, and then the coax is going to make one straight line. There's no coil, no nothing, just one straight line going in to wherever he's going to go up to his termination point. So yeah, that's a very good job right there. Nice idea as well with this. No coil, no nothing, just run that coax straight back through and be done with it. So you can go that route if you wanted as well. Again, the closer you bring the antenna to any interference, that's what's happening. So it's kind of like, I'll put it to you like this. You have a nice, warm, heated room. But as soon as you open up that window, you're going to get all this cold air coming in, right? So this is kind of what happens. When you move the antenna down towards a source of activity, you're going to draw in all that interference. This may not have any interference. Well, he's probably using regular bulbs, not LEDs, I'd imagine. But definitely that's a good place to put it. But remember, any antenna that's down low is going to bounce and reflect at some point, whether it be very little or a lot, it depends. But that's a very good clean mount that he's got here as well. That's a pretty good job right here. So that came out beautiful. Like I said, there's one strand going in, no coil. But yeah, good job. Yeah, I like to keep mine higher in the air so I don't have nothing bouncing, because now, and I'll tell you why. You might even have a flat match. It might work out good for you, but I'll tell you why. If I'm in front of you, and I just did this yesterday, I was just demonstrating this yesterday. So I have a short stub that's about probably 4, maybe 5 inches tall, VHF UHF antenna. And so the antenna is mounted on my right fender in the front. So when I'm talking into the repeater and that side of the vehicle is facing towards the repeater, I go in full quieting. As soon as I make a turn, and now my driver's side's facing the repeater and not the passenger side where my antenna is mounted, now I start becoming a little choppy, because I'm far enough away from the repeater at that point, but I'm getting a little choppy because I'm fighting my hood a little bit to get out across the hood to that repeater. I didn't want to put a man mount on top of my roof yet, so I'm trying to avoid that. I could change out my short stub to a taller antenna, and I very well may do that yet this year. I was kind of playing around with it last year a little bit, but I did like the way this stubby antenna came out, and it works great, and it's got a 3 dBi gain. But there's some drawbacks to it, because now I have to, depending on what side of the vehicle you're on, determines all of that. So what this means is, when he's back here, and let's say he's on the thruway, heading wherever, or let's just say he's headed north, right? Let's just say he's headed north to my house. Well, if he's far enough away and he's headed north, I might have a hard time getting to him, because I got to fight the vehicle to get to the antenna. Whereas if he's driving away from me, my antenna is hitting his antenna with no problem until he gets out of range. So that would be a drawback. Anytime you mount an antenna low or below any kind of structure, there's always going to be some kind of interference or a drawback. Not saying you can't perform. Yes, you can. You do very well with performance, but you got to rely on an antenna with a high gain to it to compensate what reflection or interference you may have that may stop you from getting out from point A to point B as a blind spot to the antenna. That's the only drawback. So they always ask people to put your antenna at the highest point with nothing in between or around it, to avoid that nature of things. But this is a very good way of doing things too. I've seen people put them down here on the hatch, and that comes out very well, because it doesn't interfere with you opening and closing the hatch. It kind of stays right there with it. You're not pinching the coax, so it's a very good place to put it. Right here is for sure. But yep, excellent pictures, guys. Okay, and then this is another one from Nick. Nick just sent me this one here. So he's got it grounded here, coming down back through, which is good. Is that your ground wire, or were you running parallel? Okay, I thought that was your coax wrapped around. So you got a ground wire running parallel with your coax cable. Okay, gotcha. All right. Yeah. Okay. So, all right. So I stand corrected. So, so the extra wire here is not your coaxial cable. That's the ground cable running parallel in. Okay, because it looks like your coax cable was wrapped. So that's not wrapped then. This is just your ground wire following down the path. Okay. Yeah, go with the magnum mount antenna. You're still going to absorb a lot of energy here, but I would definitely go with a magnum mount antenna on top of your Cherokee. I would definitely do that for sure. So, all right, guys, I'm gonna get out of here. It is 7:30, and I got to get my day started. I could sit here and talk all day long, but I got work to do. So, but yeah, check out that Serial 5000 mobile magnum mount antenna. I think you'll find it very, very user friendly and more effective to what you have. The Strikers are good, but not nearly as good as a Serial. I've installed many Striker antennas. They come out great, but when you put a Serial antenna on, it's like night and day. You can see that right away. It's not like you're waiting and say, well, I don't know, today I didn't notice it, or yesterday was this, then you'll see it right away. Huge difference, big huge difference. So, all right, guys, great questions, great topics, because I didn't really have much to talk about today besides the Zello and the Jamboree at the moment. So I appreciate everybody who did that for sure. Yeah, go with a magnum mount, bootlegger, or else just put regular bulbs back in, not LEDs, to eliminate your interference, really. So, but all right, guys, like, share, subscribe as always. Hit that bell, and we'll give you more informative information. We always like to help people out, even though I got my trolls out here that like to put the thumbs down, and that's okay, because I get monetized. So every time you guys access my video, even for a split second, to get in there to do anything whatsoever, you guys are helping me out. You're doing my advertisements, so I really appreciate that for sure. No problem. So anyways, so all my trolls, please keep clicking on my videos. I love it. Keep coming back. I encourage you. Please come. And help me keep my channel growing. I really appreciate that. And all those CB groups you guys like to put me in, oh, you guys are doing a wonderful job. You guys are doing an awesome job. Appreciate that. And I don't know. I mean, I guess that's what makes the world go around. So, all right, guys. Anyways, thank you for watching the video. Like, share, subscribe. Excellent topics. And again, if you guys want to check out the whole JOTA, J-O-T-A, Jamboree on the Air, contact me, dxradioshop@yahoo.com. Catch you later. I'll be back here soon with another video of information.